Hi, I'm Jasmine and I'm here with my clients, the Whitsons, and we're going to talk about their property here in Kailua that we're going to be putting on market so you can get a little bit of insight into their home and why they chose their home. Okay guys, first off, why are we selling?
Well, we're selling because obviously we're in the military and can't stay in the same place forever. So got to keep on moving to the next duty location and unfortunately leave the island.
Yeah, a little bit sooner than expected, but here we are.
Military has a good way of doing that for sure. So I have to ask, you guys have a beautiful property, but you spent nearly $1.5 million on this one. So what for you, coming from the mainland, what made you feel comfortable pulling that trigger and choosing this property? What separated it from the other ones?
Well, with this house, Kailua was already pretty important to us because we started going to schools and stuff like that in the area, so we wanted to stay in town. And then the location that we had is really close to a ton of different things around the area. All of our favorite eateries, you got Timmy T's, Easy Q, Mokes, all kinds of different places for any time of day you want to eat or grab a drink.
I know that your favorite coffee shop is over here, right, Laura?
Yes, yep, Chad Lou's just around the corner.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
So this is definitely a great place where you can have your bottomless mimosa brunch and walk home. You can also walk to the beach, all of that from here, right?
Yes.
How far is it to the beach from your guys' property?
About a mile.
About a mile. That is a quick, easy bike ride. That is awesome. So what's your guys' favorite thing about your home now?
We love the space, having the ADU, which provides separation, so my mom is able to live with us. Since we have a large family, we have everybody on site and can expand outdoors as needed and still feel like we're living together but have our separation.
She has her own separate entrance there, right?
She does. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so I have to ask, what's your least favorite thing about Kyua?
There's almost too much to do. It's overwhelming. Just so many options to dine out, so many places to walk, so sometimes it's hard to know where to go and what to do.
I think it's hard to prioritize those things too, because there's all kinds of hikes and runs, and the beaches are, you know, known around the world. Yeah, they're awesome, and it's easy to just find your favorites and then get sucked into those without exploring all the other options that there are.
Great Saturday plans for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What are some of the big upgrades or upgrades in general that you guys have done to the property since taking ownership to make it your own?
So the biggest one was probably taking down a wall to open up the living space. And in doing so, we created a dining space, and that's honestly where we like to congregate as a family. So it was a real game changer. It used to be a small bedroom, but by taking down that wall, we created a really great living space for our family to have dinners and other meals and just an entertainment area as well.
You wouldn't have even known, like when you walk in, it just seems so opening and natural that it's there. So that was a really great move, for sure.
It's awesome. We think it's a really good use of the space because we have the breakfast bar, and then we have the TV on a big swing mount, so we can put that away and take it out whenever we need to.
That's nice.
Pretty awesome.
So is there a project that you didn't get to? Because I know you guys are moving a little bit quicker than anticipated.
Yeah, we've only lived in the house about 1.5 years, so there's a couple things that I wish I had time to finish. One of them was just the backyard. I think I'd make it more of an entertainer space, so it's got really good shade and we're out there a lot, but just customizing, like putting, you know, like an entertainer area or a bar back there and maybe putting up a TV and good place to play bags and all that kind of stuff. So didn't get a chance to do that.
So you need cornhole for those who don't know what bags.
Yeah, bags is cornhole depending on where you're from, but I call it bags.
Never heard of it being called back.
No?
No.
That's all we called it in college. The other thing that I think we probably would have finished would be the driveway and some of the fencing. Mostly just waiting because our neighbors are finishing off things and projects in their own house. So we just haven't had time to address those things and didn't want to lean into it too much.
Actually, while we're on that topic, I love that you just led us there. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on next door and what your neighbors are like, basically?
The neighbors are generally pretty quiet. The lot right next to us, they're building a brand new house. And he's been awesome. Sean is his name, but he comes over all the time. We use a lot of his workers just to, you know, get things right and make sure that everything's finished in our house. 'Cause that's very important. But super nice, super helpful. It's been relatively quiet. There's some other houses that have been torn down and going up around the neighborhood.
Yeah, there's a lot of improvements happening in your neighborhood, yeah?
Yeah, so it is nice to have somebody next door that knows what they're doing now.
Yeah, and he's like definitely a friendly neighbor too.
Absolutely,
It's wonderful.
super friendly.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So you guys are a few months away from moving off island. What are you gonna miss most?
I'm definitely going to miss the walkability, easy access to town, easy access to the beach. Again, hard to decide where to go, what to do sometimes just because there are so many options, but nice to have everything right there at your fingertips, and that's really hard to come by in most places with beautiful weather.
Yeah,
It's the icing on the cake.
I think building on that, like riding bikes to school with the kids and going to all the beaches.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
didn't know you did that.
Yeah, that's been really fun. We don't do it every day, but it's been a good experience, and I don't know, all those little things like that, little moments and little experiences that we're not gonna have not living on the island, you know?
Yeah.
So can't just go for hikes up to pillboxes and checking out volcanoes and have the beautiful views
Yeah,
anywhere else.
that's true. Well, I wanted to thank you guys so much for sitting down with me and going over the pros and cons of living here and specifically your home. And I really wish you the best.
Yeah.
Chicago. It's going to
Thank
be
you.
great.
All right, thanks.